SMT Nation, we back. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the performance and something that I've noticed about the Google Pixel 6a. I want you guys to get a good idea of what this phone is like. If you were to buy it, what would be fair expectations for the way that it functions? Are you going to enjoy it? Are there things about it that you will like or not like? So you can have a better, a more informed purchasing understanding of what you should be doing when going into this phone. All right, so I do have the T-Mobile 5G UC icon showing up there, so my T-Mobile SIM is in, and I was using this device yesterday for most of the day, and I used it for basic stuff. In fact, the reason I want to make this video is to look at the thermals. I just want to look at the heating issue that it may have. Now, I'm framing it this way because there's a couple of factors. Number one, yesterday was a warm day. It was about 80 degrees, 78, 80 degrees, and I, had to do some rounds, so the phone was in the car. I didn't put it on the air conditioning vent, but I was using Google Maps, and that's pretty much it. So the screen was on, and I noticed that the phone felt warm, pretty warm. All right, now it's the same type of warm that I felt with the Pixel 6 Pro before several updates. So it's not shocking to see, using the same Tensor chipset, when we're talking about like the modem, the processor, all of the internals there for Google. And, I wanted to highlight that and kind of do some testing. I wanted to show you guys the baseline there with that CPU usage monitoring app. As I kind of navigate through several apps, I want to show you guys how fast this phone can heat up if you push it. So even with just running a couple of processes here, it's not easy to do. Multitasking on a smartphone can put a stress onto the CPU, and you'll see we've gone from 30 to 34 degrees Celsius. That magnitude increase in just about a minute or two of usage. Multitasking is tough on devices. Now this phone can do it. Clearly, I'll take you through the video here, and I'll show you guys as I'm browsing through all my apps and opening and closing apps and using the apps themselves. It does it no problem. That's not the issue. But I wanted to show you that as you use the phone, you will notice that it does get warm. And again, this calls back to yesterday when I was simply just using Google Maps, and I was running that CPU usage app in the background, and I felt the phone was warm. One of the things that I noticed specifically about the CPU usage is I saw it peak over 40 degrees Celsius. I think it peaked at like 43 degrees Celsius at its warmest. And I'm not sure what the maximum heating threshold is for this phone. Some phones will throttle down, right? You'll see like the screen dim. You'll see the phone shut down sometimes if it gets hot enough. I didn't see anything like that. All right, I didn't see any emergency shut off. I didn't see like an indication or a notification from the OS that it needed to shut down. So nothing like that happened. In fact, I've even seen phones go from like the 5G being on to LTE, so they'll downgrade the radios, the cellular radios, to reduce power consumption to try to manage the heat. So I didn't see any of that when it hit the 43 degrees Celsius yesterday. I'm guessing it would have to probably get up to like past 45 degrees Celsius, but it was noticeably warm. So what should you expect with this phone? You guys will see here, right? It's sitting on an ottoman, right? That's a fabric cover, so it's not sitting on like a cooler surface. Obviously my home is air conditioned. It's probably 70, 68 degrees in the room. I couldn't see, I don't know. Basically what I'm saying is if you're in a warm room, if you're outdoors, it's the summertime, if you live in a warm or a hot place, these are things you're going to have to know. And these are things that you might see with this phone. But they are the same things that we saw with the Google Pixel 6 Pro, right? There's no surprises here. All right, so I've been stressing the phone. You guys have seen me, right? I've opened up several apps. The apps have been running simultaneously, right? I'm showing you guys there. All the notifications are coming in. All right, we're at 36 degrees Celsius now. So I'm not getting to that 43 degrees Celsius that I did yesterday. But as I continue to use these apps, and these are heavy tasks, you know what I mean? The speed testing, the NPerf test, the fast.com, the video running in the background. The CPU usage monitor is probably not going to be too taxing, right? It just kind of runs low key in the background. But these things are real, right? These are to make an informed purchase decision. If you're going to be dropping $449 for the Google Pixel 6 Pro, the Google Pixel 6a, or you splurge and get the extra $50 fee for the mmWave version for Verizon. This phone so far has been really nice. Don't get me wrong. I've enjoyed every moment of using it. It's been amazing. Look, we peaked at about 40 degrees Celsius, right? So you guys can see that. I just want you guys to know what this phone will be like. So if heating and thermals may affect you or kind of give you unease, or even some people get anxiety when their phones start to get hot, this phone will get warm on you. I mean, this is just what it is. And by the way, doesn't change my outlook on the phone. I haven't seen it shut down. I haven't seen it go wrong. So I'm okay with it, but I wanted you guys to know about this. So thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe for more coverage on the Google Pixel 6a.